the book of Kings 2, chapter 17. The story that we are discussing, of course, is uh, the end of the 10 tribe era, the end of the era of the 10 tribes. The king of Ashur is basically going to be exiling the 10 tribes, and ultimately, the final exile is going to be done by Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Bavel. So we're holding here by the last king of Israel, which is the last king of the 10 tribes. His name was Hoshea ben Elah. And what we spoke about last week was that he actually did one thing that was good. The one thing that Hoshea ben Elah did that was good was that he removed the blockage, or the preventing people from going to be Oila Regel, to be to do the pilgrimage to the Beis Hamikdash. He stopped that. He stopped preventing people. He said, "Now you can go." What what was basically behind that? Well, before Hoshea ben Elah, there were uh, they were set up two golden calves by Yeravam ben Nevat. Yeravam was the first of the kings of the 10 tribes, and he had set these up in order to prevent people from going to the regular Jewish kingdom of the kingdom of Judah, and he wanted to prevent them from going there because if they went there, they would realize that the kingdom of the 10 tribes was not the real deal, and really the main king is the kingdom of Judah. And so he tried to prevent them. So he made these two golden calves, which of course is very shocking for us to even understand how people would go for this, and they wouldn't make the connection with last week's Torah portion of the golden calf of Moses. And why would people fall into this trap? But they ultimately did, and they would bring either altar sacrifices to Hashem at these places, or maybe to idols and whatever. It was a really what you would call an unorganized religion, so to speak, because people were worshiping idols, all different types of idol worship, and who knows what. And really a very uh, uh, major embarrassment, maybe you could say, and a rebelliousness to Hashem. So I
Yeah,
did want to
Shonda for
bring,
the neighbors.
yeah, definitely an embarrassment to Shanda. Now, I did want to bring that the end of Tractate Gittin, the Gemara over here, talks about the situation that led to ultimately the destruction, and it mentions here in the again where I'm just going to quote from you from Tractate Gittin, the tractate that talks about the laws of divorce. Mentions here that Rav Huna says, what does it mean in the verse when you beget children and grandchildren and become aged? This is a verse in the book of Deuteronomy. And and so the pasuk there, maybe I should pull it up here. It's Deuteronomy chapter 4. Let me just pull up the pasuk here. We read this on Kisoylid Banim on Tisha B'av. Right? Kisoylid Banim and Banim and Shantim Ba'aretz. Let me just pull up the full pasuk here in Deuteronomy chapter 4. Um, so the pasuk says, the verse says, something's wrong. Yeah, the pasuk says that when you have children and grandchildren, you beget children and grandchildren are long established on the land. Should you act wickedly and make for yourselves a sculptured image and any likeness, causing Hashem displeasure and vexation? So I call the heavens and the earth this day to witness against you that you shall soon perish from the land that you are crossing the Jordan to possess. That you should know that you shall no long endure in it, but shall be utterly wiped out. Your days will not be lengthened on it, because you will surely be destroyed, and Hashem will scatter you among the people. So this is all about worshiping idols and basically getting wiped out. And I will scatter you among the peoples, exile, and only a scant few of you shall be left. Among the nations to which Hashem will drive you, and there you will serve the gods of wood and stone that cannot see or hear or eat or smell. And if you search there, if you search over there, you will find your God. If only you seek with all your heart and soul. So you will seek out, that you will find Hashem. And when you are distressed from all these things befalling you, in the end, return and obey. You will return to Hashem. So that's the discussion here. And so the pasuk says, so when you will beget children and grandchildren and become aged, and then you will worship these idols. So Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi says that Loicharva Eretz Yisrael, the land of Israel, did not get destroyed until 7 royal courts, which means royal families, performed idolatry in her midst. That means that the 7 families of kings, there were 7 families of kings, and until then, it was not destroyed. Who were the 7 families of kings? Yeravam ben Nevat, Basha ben Achia, Achav ben Omri, Yehu ben Nimshi, Pekach ben Ramalyahu, Menachem ben Gadi, and Hoshea ben Elah. So these 7 families, they ultimately caused that after they all worshipped idols, ultimately that was the end. They accomplished total destruction for the Jewish people, meaning they maxed it out. They maxed it out, the amount of patience that Hashem had, and 7 royal families worshipped idols. That was it. And I'm just looking at Rashi over here in the Gemara. Rashi over here in the Gemara, he mentions we're talking about families, not individuals, because some of the families had children and grandchildren. Right? Yehu had was a 4-family dynasty. Achav was a 4-family dynasty. Each family had altogether, it was 7. You add them all up, and that was ultimately where Hashem said, the buck stops here, and you've reached the max. And And anyone that didn't last more than a year, it doesn't count them. That wasn't they're not included. Shalom ben Yavesh and Zachariah, then these aren't counted. Now the Gemara continues, and it says, as it says in the pasuk, Umlala yoledes hashiva. The one who bore 7 is desolate. Her spirit is miserable. Her sun has set in midday. She is embarrassed and ashamed. And this is a pasuk in Jeremiah, and it basically tells us that the desolation of that Eretz Yisrael will suffer from will take place after it gives birth to 7 to these 7 idol worshiping families.